Good morning, awakening beings of light.
Good morning.
As you can, feel the presence of those who have gathered to be with you. To become more familiar with those who are here to help you help yourself can open you up to a place of greater ease, realizing that truly there are angels who have had you placed in their charge to guide you and protect you, to help you in ways that you may not see for yourself. So at this time, we open this to you, and whatever questions you would care to direct this way, then we will see what we can do to answer them. So you may begin. Yes?
Dr. Foster, I recently had a session with my doctor teacher where I was bringing forward an experience that I wasn't clear that ego was influencing, and I had a challenging time of seeing that. So I'm wondering, how can I better and more effectively recognize when ego is trying to manipulate or sway my path?
So the question perhaps might be more than just for you personally. Dealing with how can you become aware of when ego is influencing you in your life? The answer is almost all the time. Now that may seem to be a little harsh, but the fact of the matter is, until now, the majority, and including now, the majority of humanity is unconscious. And because this is the case, you do not realize the powerful influence ego has in where you are, the choices you make, and the tendencies that you have. It requires of you to be present and paying attention to what is happening now, to be more receptive to how you may be interpreting what is occurring, and notice any influence in that interpretation that may lead you to be resisting it, developing feelings of anger, anxiety, judgment, because any of these are the ways that ego relates to life. Ego does not have an easy relationship with life, not even when everything is going the way it wants it to go, because that will make it unhappy soon enough as it is. So this is really a part of, as I addressed earlier, an awakening that begins to occur within you. The first thing you become aware of is that you weren't awake. And who is there making the decisions for you in your life while you weren't awake? You begin to see, my goodness me, I have been listening and following an inner voice inside of me that really does not have my best interest at heart. If it is primarily leading me in ways of disruption, of resistance, then I can be sure there has to be a better way. Then it is for you in your awakening state to say, all right, I think I'll become a little more conscious here now. I think I'll start paying more attention to what's going on. And in paying attention, make another part of me present to where I can make choices that are in harmony with who I feel myself to be. And that can easily translate into, I'll make choices that make me feel good about me being me, instead of me being angry with the choices I'm making. Does that help you?
Yes, thank you.
Not that that will give you an ongoing perfect solution, but it will give you more of a sense of, I can do this. I can actually pay attention instead of always relating to the voice speaking inside my head. Yes.
Dr. Foster, I have a question about divine protection. I understand that if I raise my rate of vibration, I am protecting myself by elevating myself out of density and distortion. But my question is about inanimate objects. Could you enlighten us about the dynamics of protection involved with inanimate objects? And specifically, for me personally, referencing maybe a car. This last week, I drove 80 miles in the dark, and as soon as I hit my driveway, 2 systems failed in my car and it became completely inoperable. And I gave thanks that this did not happen on the freeway. And so, what are the dynamics of inanimate objects? It seems rather phenomenal, frankly.
Yes. Well, I overheard a conversation that occurred where you were saying, well, perhaps it's because I have a good mechanic guide working for me.
I did say that.
Well, here we are in a multidimensional universe that has supportive energies to be available to any and all who are receptive to it. Doesn't matter. What does matter is what you are choosing to generate inside yourself on a constant basis. If you have an awakening awareness that is learning to, instead of generating anxiety, worry, concern, regret, resentment, jealousy, anger, bitterness, any of these denser frequencies, and you're starting to raise your rate of vibration by entertaining thoughts and feelings of harmony, peace, love, appreciation, joy, gratitude. The more you generate these, the more you put yourself into that state of living. Inanimate objects. Are they dumb? No, they're just not animate. As a matter of fact, you could say some animate objects seem to be less intelligent than the ones that aren't animated. And it's just simply a revelation as to the attending unconscious awareness that often is up and running. So, perhaps a part of you would say, I'm lucky. It didn't happen to me when I was in dire circumstances. It happened at a place where it was easily taken care of. And I say to you, part of this has to do with attending awareness. You see, you're expressing gratitude because you feel like you were saved. And I'm saying to you, all right, that may be, but what if it hadn't happened to you in a different circumstance? Would you have had the same ease in awareness? Or would you have been inclined to, oh my God? So I'm saying this to all of you. In your awakening, it is imperative that you realize all is well and it is working together for good. But if you don't have the receptivity of that, that is not going to be your experience. As it is, you can see that there are opportunities for the revelation of your developing awareness to reveal itself in circumstances where you say, I'm protected, I'm taken care of. I see where the law is working in my behalf. And so it is. But I'm saying this to you, yes, it's good when it works that way. It's good when you're happy. But trust me, that's not the object of life. to be happy. The object of life is for you to awaken to where no matter what occurs, you're at a state of receptivity and ease. You see, ease trumps happy all the time. Because you're not going to always be happy. But you can be at ease. And if you are at ease in a given circumstance, then that's going to be your relationship to life. But if you're saying to life, you've got to do this for me, you've got to make that happen, this has to work out in order for me to be happy, then you can be sure you're listening to ego, who is still dictating policy in you and is saying, look again, I'm still in control. So, roll the dice, see how it happens, and all the while, continue to pay attention. And I am sure that a part of you, as this occurred the way it did, you said, thank you. This is part of the developing awareness, you see. For you to say thank you, which is an expression of appreciation, which is a raised frequency of energy, ties you into a higher frequency of life that exists to where you're then able to live that regardless of what happens afterwards. Or you could listen to ego and say, oh my God, that could have happened, and get caught up in the worry and the concern of what could have happened and find you missed out on a blessing that you could have provided for yourself by appreciation. So you see, it really is up to you. It's your choice all the time, everywhere. It's up to you. Does that help you?
Yes, thank you, sir.
Anyone else?
Yes, Dr. Foster, first of all, I'd like to express my appreciation for this extraordinary blessing.
Please, you have to speak up.
I said I'd like to express my appreciation for this extraordinary blessing of being able to answer these questions at this time. I've noticed that I can be very much uplifted during a service, and then I'll segment my life so when I leave the service, I adopt a previous behavior of being somewhat unconscious, maybe very unconscious, or waking up the next morning and being unconscious. And so I'm asking for some guidance in how to translate what I am hearing and appreciating and learning to time after, away from this particular special time.
Yes. Accept yourself. That can be a major challenge right there. To accept the fact, I am choosing for what I call a period of time to be present. And in being present, I find that I am more consciously available. And then after whatever that is that happened, I go unconscious and I resort to being my belief self. Well, at least you have a belief self to resort to. And I'm saying that with humor, because the fact of the matter is, if you didn't have your belief self, you still would be. As a matter of fact, you spend an inordinate amount of time, effort, and energy maintaining your belief self. So it's no wonder that you find yourself slipping back into it and living it again and again. My encouragement is pay attention. When you find yourself going back and being you, the belief you, pay attention. Instead of going totally unconscious again, pay attention to the belief you that comes through, and then pay attention to how much ego comes in and influences that right then and there. You can make a conscious choice to delete the ego influence and to live the belief you in a way that, again, makes you feel good about you being you. After all, the belief you is a pretty good guy, a pretty good girl. Really is. So if you can bring out those parts of you that you can feel good about being, choose to live them. And if you find you go unconscious and it starts to repeat again, just realize awakening didn't happen. It is happening. And that there's an in and out with it. As there is a conscious flicker of awakening and then a going back to sleep. So your appreciation for this, as you said it in your opening statement, is a revelation as to what is working for you in your life, that if you were to have the contrast of always moaning, groaning, complaining, griping, grumbling, this would be the energy that you would be creating your life with, that you've learned doesn't bring you what you want. So you've learned to let go of that. And when you find yourself doing it, you cut it off and replace it with something better. So, does this help you?
Yes, thank you.
Do we have a theme here?
Yes.
Yes, we do. Yes, ma'am.
That's what leads to my question.
You're going to have to come way forward. Good.
Thank you. It is a perfect segue into my recent challenge. Sorry, I'm soft-spoken. I can be loud.
Good. Yeah, speak to me like you would someone else that you want to get their attention. Yes.
I am struggling with parenting my 12-year-old twins from a conscious high vibration, and I'm aware of resisting often how difficult it is, and the messages, the thoughts that I tell myself are that this shouldn't be this way, it's not okay. Resistance, resistance, resistance. I am not sure what you have to offer me, but I was moved to speak, so
Yes.
I am offering that to all of us, and thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed the piece you put in there of your recognition of your resistance to resistance. That really helps, doesn't it? Makes you feel so much better. I'm resisting your resistance. Can't you feel that? You feel how powerful I am and how I am weakening myself by generating such frequencies inside of me that if I persist in doing are going to result in my systems breaking down and dis-ease resulting, or I lose track of what's going on and I have what's called an accident injury, all a part of choice making that usually is on an unconscious level. Now, your two twins, you say? Yes, 12-year-old. Congratulations. Yes, yes. You see, that's the value of being over here. Yes. It's your opportunity. Yes. Well, I could make a very long story of this, but I will just bring in some particulars that can help you. Before they ever came into your life, the decision was made before you even came into this incarnation that you were going to be, and you were going to be as a family. They knew that they had things that they needed to learn. You knew also. And everyone since then, as most of you do, conveniently forgot this. And so you now find yourself living at this stage of the game. Rejoice. Every morning that you wake up, instead of saying, I don't know if I can face this another day, especially when you hear them downstairs or whatever, you say in yourself, I rejoice. I will open myself to this, and I will allow a positive influence to come into my awakening awareness so that I can embrace them in love. And I can let them know from that heart level how deeply appreciative they are to me, that I am so happy they're in my life. And let them go ahead and be obnoxious 12-year-olds. While they look at you and say, I wish you could only understand me. So instead of looking at it and seeing it as a permanent, look and see the flow that you're in here. Everything passes. Everything changes. But you can and do influence that. So the more you can recognize you are involved in a flow and live the flow as best you can, you're going to find that it moves forward to where, if no other way, from another perspective, you'll look at it and say, my God, I made wise choices there. Instead of letting it get me down and keep me down, I open myself to realize there's a divine piece of energy in this that can be recognized as a plan that includes me and my children, and that they are fully developed beings of light, just as I am, but we happen to be in different bodies right now that seem to make us separate, which is a part of the plan. Does this help you?
Yes.
It can help you to shift out of that I'm without answers and go to a place of I am here. Whatever answers I need will come to me when I absolutely need them. I'm not going to drive myself crazy by trying to figure it out before. And I'm not going to let them drive me crazy because I can't figure it out. Does this help? Good. Good, good. And don't always feed them candy. All right, good. Thank you. I could have gone on with more don'ts, but that's enough. Yes, anyone else? One more. Yes, please.
My question is, what's the best way to navigate?
First thing you need to do is come right up here so I can hear you.
My question is, what's the best way to navigate like depressive episodes throughout your lifetime?
To navigate what?
To deal with like depression, or when you are experiencing depressive episodes for years.
Yes.
I feel like mine are actually dying down, but sometimes they come up again, or something will get triggered. But
Yeah.
I overall feel like my spirit or my ego or whatever.
And you're speaking about oppression, depression, yes?
Depression.
Depression.
Like what's the best way to deal with depression, like depressive episodes, like when they
Yes.
come up?
Yes. Would you like to sit here and listen?
Sure.
Cool, thank you. I'm sure that others of you here have experienced depression also, and that it seems to be a reoccurring experience with you. And that's because it is a pattern of behavior that you have developed from an early age on. The more you can recognize it, and when it is present, accept it instead of resisting it, the more you're going to open yourself to another part of you that has a greater wisdom of how to live it than the one who is dreading it. So I believe you're working along these lines from what I'm feeling from you. And I am encouraging you to realize this is part of what you have asked for you to master in your life. Others could have something else going on, but this is what you might could say personal to you. So as it is personal to you, embrace it. Instead of saying there's something wrong with me, I shouldn't have this, why can't I be happy like others, which is all this nonsense that this voice inside your head tells you. Well, the fact of the matter is, when it's there, it's trying to get your attention and draw from you your energy, and usually it's energy of you feel bad, you're disappointed, all of the negatives, because you see, it feeds off of that. If you can choose in yourself to feel the depression, but not get depressed about it, then you're going to find you're not giving it energy. And while there may be a surge of resistance in trying to get you to, eventually it will fade and fade faster. And that's because you aren't giving it the energy it needs to sustain it. All of us, whether we are in physical bodies or in other dimensional realities, are energy beings. Your energy supplies you in your physical expression and your emotional and mental expression also. So if you can start getting savvy to this and recognize, you get the symptoms, you know when it's starting to come on or when it's getting triggered, and you say, I recognize you, and I accept you, and I will, in myself, be present with you, and not run away from you, and not believe that you're going to be here forever, because I know that is a lie. So what you're doing is you're getting closer and closer to truth, instead of listening to lies and believing there's something wrong. It's depression. It will come and it will go. You keep being present with it, and you'll find it will grow less and less frequent, less and less intense, until eventually you'll say, oh my God, I'm learning what I needed to learn. I'm not a victim. And that's what depression would want to impress upon you, that you're a victim, and you're not. Bless you, my dear. Blessing everyone. Thank you so very much. For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.